Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my little cozy corner of Palia and coffee. Today we're kind of diving into Palia fishing. I did have some comments on previous videos, as well as comments in my stream, as well as comments from other people that I know in Discord and stuff, asking about tips and tricks for fishing. I am currently, I believe, level 100 fishing, so I've done quite a bit of it. I've also done a little bit extra research to help add some extra little tips and tricks. So grab your fishing rod, pour yourself a cup of coffee. I got me one right here, and let's cast off. Fishing in Palia is more than just a way to pass the time. It's a peaceful, rewarding skill that helps you cook, helps you collect, and helps you cash in on all of the catches that you've done. You'll meet Einar when you first get started. He's the fishing guild rep over in Kilima. He's a gentle giant who will upgrade your rod and give you tips with a smile. Yeah, Einar is a sweetheart. He's the one who'll get you first set up. Once you do get set up, there's some basic mechanics. We'll cover over the basic stuff and go from there. So there are some basic mechanics to fishing. When you first get started, you'll equip your rod, aim it at a body of water, hit the button, and wait for the fish to bite. It's very simple how to get started. There are some intricacies into it though that we will cover that will help you hopefully. There is one that I didn't know when I first started and found that out after what should have been much quicker, but it did take me a minute to figure it out. So what you're going to do is you're going to throw your fishing rod out there, or your fishing bobber out there. You'll see it drop 3 times. On the 4th one, the fish will bite and you'll start to reel in. Simple as that. That's the basics. There's a multiplayer aspect, so if you have other players within range of you as you're fishing, you'll get a buff when they catch a fish. So every time someone in the area catches a fish, you'll get a buff. That buff can stack up to 5 times, and it reduces the hooking time of your next catch. So the next time you throw your rod out there, you won't have to wait as long. The fish will start to nibble immediately. That bonus, I believe, is a 10% speed, and it will increase up to 50% with that last buff once it gets to stack 5. Now every single catch around you beyond that will just refresh the timer on that stack. If you do let that timer tick down and go away, it will disappear, but you can just re-get it by having people fish around you. So it's helpful to catch with other people, as well as you get a chance of getting a double catch. If you're in a party with people and there's people fishing with you, you have that extra chance for being in a party to get a double catch. What that means is whatever you caught, you'll get 2 of them basically. So it's very, very handy to be in a group of people and to fish together. It makes things go much quicker, makes it much more fun, makes it much more profitable. As well as multiplayer mechanics, there is a seasonal mechanic. So your fish will be available depending on the time of day. That could be morning, day, evening, or night. Some fish are available during all. Some fish are only available during one window. So you do have to pay attention. If you're trying to catch something specific, you need to pay attention to what window they're available in, as well as what body of water they're available in, and the type of bait you're using. So certain fish, every single fish has its own type of body of water. So in basic pre-Elderwoods Palia, there was ponds, there was Bahari, the actual bay area, and then Bahari rivers. Then there was Kilima Lake, and then the Kilima rivers. So there were 5 locations you could fish from. With Elderwoods, they've added the Elderwoods freshwater and Elderwoods seawater, basically the way I look at it. You have the coastal area, and that's 1, And then you have the actual ponds and the upriver areas, which are a separate biome. And each one of those 7 biomes contains completely different fish. I'm not aware, I don't believe they share any fish at all whatsoever. So there's 7 different locations and each one has its own unique fish. As well as that, the bait you use determines, what kind of fish you're going to get. So if you're going after the basic fish, you don't need a bait on your hook at all. If you're going for more expensive or more rarer fish, they're generally found under the glowworms, and then the middle of the road is the basic worms. As well as there was an update with Elderwoods, and they did boost the catch rate of certain things under certain hooks. So for instance, if you're looking for your makeshift furniture, don't use bait. They have increased and boosted the catch rate of makeshift furniture without bait. So if you're going specifically for that, I would recommend you don't use bait. It'll probably make it easier on you and you'll probably catch more of it. So the next section is the fishing hotspots. So if you're looking to get star quality fish, go for the hotspots. There is a buff that you can use called a tuning fork that will help you spot those on your compass above. It does make it easier and makes it helpful to find those without having to hunt them down. So I recommend you get one of those if you can. There are as well hotspots in Elderwoods for corrupted fish, which give you the essence. So if you're hunting for essence in the Elderwoods, look for the purple bubbles. Whereas if you're looking for star quality everywhere else, look for the shiny spots that have the fish jumping and the bubbles and stuff popping. That's where you get your star quality fish. And if you want to display them on your house like I do, that's where you have to be focusing your fishing. I'm working on getting all the fish displayed in my house, and so I've been running up and down the coast hunting those little star spots. Another uncommonly known mechanic, something I didn't know until it was pointless for me, is that if you catch a fish and your health bar at the bottom is completely full, you get a 20% experience boost for that fish, and it will pop up saying perfect catch. Now I was getting perfect catches before, but I didn't know what they did and I didn't focus on them. If I had known that, I may have been a little more careful until I got my XP up to level 50 at least. Right now I've surpassed that, so I don't care about XP as much, but if you are leveling, getting those perfect catches is an easy way to get an XP boost as you go. How do you fish? It's super simple. You put out your bobber, you wait for the splash to happen 3 times and the fish to take a bite, and then you just hook it and you start reeling in. Now there are more complexities to it. You have a safe zone as you're fishing. You'll see your safe zone that it is a color indicator. So you'll have green means it's a safe area. Yellow means stop reeling in. This is the key that I missed for the longest time. If it turns yellow, well, part of the problem is I'm colorblind, so the yellow and green stuff is really close for me. So changing from yellow to green to yellow or yellow to green, I don't notice it. But when it's green, you're safe to reel in. When it turns yellow, wait, follow the fish with your safe zone, but don't reel in. And when it's in red, you're in danger. It means you're doing damage to your health bar. So the way I do it, because of my color blindness, is I wait for the fish to jump out of the water or to flip out of the water. That is the key to stop reeling in. You don't have to pay attention to the colors, but the colors do make it easier. But for me personally, I pay attention to the fish flipping out of the water. If it's out of the water, don't reel. Wait for it to come back down, then start reeling again. Certain fish may jump again, just rinse and repeat. So that's a super helpful tip right there. Do not reel in if it's yellow or if the fish is out of water. So keep that in mind. There are fish behavior tends to be in a pattern. It tends to be systemic. So for instance, if you're catching the shark in Elderwoods, which is super hard, you will notice that it follows a pattern. Now that pattern may not necessarily be the exact same every time, but there is a noticeable pattern that they will follow. For instance, the floatfish, the pixie floatfish in Elderwoods will come to you as you pull, and then they'll flip out of the water, and then they'll land, and then they'll come to you as you pull. So they're guaranteed a flip midway through. They may do more than one, it depends on how fast you pull, but most of the time I get that one flip right in the middle, and then I catch them. Now the sharks, on the other hand, the sharks will go back and forth, and then they will flip, and then sometimes they'll flip and soar across and land, and sometimes they'll soar, and then when they land they'll flip again. It's kind of a mix match. So kind of be careful when you're catching those, and kind of keep an eye out. Make sure you're not reeling in when they're flipping or when they're floating over to the other side. So there are different behaviors for each of the fish. I was catching some of the turnpikes earlier, and I noticed they like to literally turn. They like to just back and forth. So there are a lot of different behaviors for the fish. Just keep an eye out, and if you're trying to catch something specific, try to learn how it behaves. And over time you'll kind of figure out some of the patterns and stuff like that, and it'll get much easier. It just takes practice. So the next section is about your rod's stats. So you have a few stats that apply to your rod. You have your rod's health bar at the bottom and the recovery rate. So while you're fishing, your health will go down if you're pulling while the fish is out of the water, or if the fish is escaping your safe zone. But there is a recovery rate that will regenerate your rod's health as you're fishing, and as you're not being damaged, it will slowly recover. So you might make a mistake in the beginning, but you might be able to recover from it because your health bar will slowly fill back up as you fish. There is the safe zone that you're fishing with. There is a speed stat and a size stat as well. And then there is your hook time, which is how quickly the fish bite on or start to nibble onto your bait. The rod health and recovery, there are hooks that help with that. There's sushi that helps with that. I believe sashimi helps with that. And all these can be used at the exact same time. You can only use one hook to improve your stats, but you can use all of the food. Whether that be fish stew, whether it be trout dinner, whether it be sashimi, sushi, fisherman's brew, all of that can be used at the exact same time, and that makes fishing so much easier, especially when you're learning and you're kind of figuring out the patterns. That is super helpful to help you get along. Fishing is not just about fish. It's not just about fish. There are other things in the ponds. Well, first off, there are plushies. I mean, come on, who's not wanting to collect all the plushies? There are waterlogged chests, which if you don't use bait, you have a higher catch rate now thanks to Elderwoods. That contains makeshift furniture. If you open it up, you get a random piece of furniture. It's the only way to collect the vast majority of the makeshift furniture pieces. There are some that are available in the black market, but the vast majority of them are only available through fishing. So if you're trying to collect that whole set, trying to get the accomplishment completed for it, there you go. That's where you get it. There's also junk in some of the locations. I've noticed mostly I get it in ponds. I'm not sure if that's guaranteed. And generally it seems to happen more often with no bait than it does with bait. So you'll occasionally get junk, little boots and stuff like that you can sell. It's just a little flavor. But the important thing is sometimes those little junk pieces can be quest items. So I remember there's a boot, there's a whale bone, I believe. There's a few, there might be a fishing bobber. There's a few that you can get that lead to like side little discovery quests. and you'll just pick those up as you're fishing. They'll come to you randomly. Some are cooking recipes. So for instance, I believe fish stew and sushi maybe are fished up. And then there are the rubber ducky added with elderwoods. That's the one I was trying to remember, the rubber ducky. There is a rubber duck out there in elderwoods. You'll eventually fish it up. If you clean it up, you'll get the recipe and you can turn around and craft more. Got a friend whose house has got like 100 ducks in it. It's insane, but that's how you first get your recipe. So there's a lot of stuff to find outside of just the fish. So tips and tricks. So I recommend that first and foremost you practice and you learn, especially if you're looking for a certain type of fish or in a certain area. You practice and you try to learn the patterns. The patterns help you so much, especially when it comes to the sharks in elderwoods. Learning the patterns makes it much easier. It is still difficult, don't get me wrong, but learning the patterns makes it a little bit easier. Second, remember not to reel in when the fish is out of the water or in the yellow zone. I didn't know that for the longest time, and I feel like such an idiot. I was fishing probably to like level 20 before I realized. I was like, why are these fish getting away? Well, how am I not able to catch these? They're just impossible. And then I realized, oh, if they're out of the water, you stop reeling. I don't know why I didn't figure that out sooner, but hey, learn from my mistakes, right? So also another trick you can use your consumables. So eat your fish, use your hooks, your sashimi, your fish stew, your sushi, your trout dinner, your fisherman's brew. If you're having trouble, cook one of everything. That's what I did, and apply them all at the same time, and it helps. It's so helpful. You can fish with friends to make your fishing go faster, as well as have a chance for double catches. Super helpful. Also, you make sure if you're looking for the starfish to decorate your house or to complete your accomplishments, make sure you look for the sparkle ponds. And lastly, you can use your bait wisely. So if you are like I was earlier, I was looking for the Moss shark. And no, it wasn't the Moss shark. I apologize. It was it was the man of war in Elderwoods, but it's called Majiri of War or something like that. If you're looking for that, it only comes out during the early morning and during the evening. That's a very tight window. It's from, I believe, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., I believe. So it is super tight window. You don't have much opportunity. So you got to make the most use of it. If that's what you're going for and you don't care about catching the random fish that come up, what you can do is you can toss your rod out there, wait for it to bite, wait for the fish to pop up and see what it is. If it's a random shark or it's a pixie floatfish and you don't care about catching those because, like me, you're only focused on the Majiri of War, let it go. Let it go back down in the water and then pull your rod back. Now the spot will disappear, but it's much quicker that way. So you can throw it out and you don't waste your bait. So throw it out. If it ain't what you want, let it go away. Pull your rod back. You'll take some rod damage, but you won't lose your bait. Move to your next area, throw your rod out, rinse and repeat. If it's not what you want and you're focusing on that one thing, if it bites and you see it jump out of the water and it's what you want, just wait. Let it go back down. It'll bite again. I promise you, it will bite again every single time. So what you do is throw it out there, see your Man of War, for me, Majiri of War, pop up. It goes back down underwater. Just wait, be patient. It'll bite again. And then when it bites again, then you reel it in. You know you're getting what you want. So if you're looking for a specific fish, I recommend doing that. If you don't care and you're just fishing, then enjoy fishing. I typically do that, but every now and then I like to really try to hyper focus on certain fish, and so I'll use that little trick to try to get the fish I want, as opposed to just collecting a million random fish. It's just quicker. It's quicker. So if you're focusing on that, make sure you take that to heart, and you use that if you need to. Next, there are weekly challenges after you reach level 10. They're not difficult. You gotta fish 10 times with friends. Now, I think this counts as you getting the buff marker 10 times, because I've fished with friends and sometimes it doesn't count right away, and sometimes it does, and it's just, I've been trying to figure out how that works, because I can stand there fishing and I won't get credit all the time. I think once you have the buff active, if you fish then, I think it counts. I'm not quite 100% sure how it works and how it tracks it, but there are times where I fish like 15 times before I get the actual achievement. I think it's because I didn't have that buff specifically, even though there were people fishing with me. So there are the 10 fishing with friends, 10 star quality fish, and then the 30 fish. That gives you 100 fishing medals each week, as well as the cool furniture you can get from Einar for the fishing medals. There are bobbers you can buy, and there are fishing hooks you can buy. So if you're struggling and you have extra fishing medals, go buy some fishing hooks from Einar. They will give you anywhere from minor to major boosts on some of your stats and make it much easier to catch things for a period of time until your hook breaks, obviously. There are accomplishments for fishing. So as you fish, you'll unlock trophies. Some of them give you renown, some of them give you furniture. The trick is, for the cool furniture stuff, you have to catch one of each star. I just finished my Kilima and Bahari starfish last night in the pond, catching the fairy carp. That was the last one that was eluding me. I had caught it before, but it was not a star. Last night I caught that, and I got those cool trophies for my wall. Oh my lord, those things are so cool. It's mounted. They got mounted float fish. You got mounted swordfish. You got all kinds of little mounted fish that hang on the wall. Yeah, it's cool. I've got the aquariums, but I've also got the mounted fish on the wall in the back of the aquarium area. It's super cool. Super cool. I love it. So if you're looking for the mounted furniture, definitely make sure you catch one of each starred fish in Kilima, Bahari, and in Elderwoods. There are trophies for all of them. They are super cool. So lastly, I would recommend that you keep an update on patch notes and stuff as they come out. Palia tweaks things about fishing here and there. They tweak things about the whole game, so it's important to keep up to date on them. But fishing, especially in Elderwoods, got a little tweak. So if you'll go look at those patch notes, you'll see, for instance, I mentioned earlier the makeshift furniture. That it got a boost if you fish without a hook. So that may be a perfect way to focus on catching those, as well as they boosted some of the catching rarity depending on the bait you're using. There are some tweaks and some new things they occasionally add as they do things, so keep an eye out for that. It will as well tell you what fishing quests there are and what things you can fish up, like the rubber duck. So if you're trying to get those, or you're trying to keep an eye on what new stuff might be in the ponds, keep an eye out for that. Recently they released the patch that gave the fishing rainbow fish, the large ancient rainbow fish. So the patch notes for that tell you that you can fish it up pretty much anywhere. So you should be seeing those in the ponds as well. So just keep an eye out on patch notes as they come out. There might be little tweaks here and there that make things easier or different, or add new features or quests or new plushies. So just keep an eye out on the patch notes, and as you go forward, and it should hopefully help you stay up to date. That's everything, I think. I tried to cover everything I could about fishing in Palia, give you guys some tips, how to improve your fishing. You may not be using the food, you may not be using the hooks, you may not know about the not reeling in thing. I know a lot of people do not figure that out right away. So there's a lot of little things here and there. Hopefully that helps you learn a little bit more and get a little bit better in your fishing. I know it can be difficult, especially in Elderwoods, and especially for people who have a Switch. I have a friend who plays with a Switch, and it is not easy. I have a friend who plays on PC and still has struggles with the lake sharks in Elderwoods. They are not easy. So if this helped you, if you like this, I ask that you please give me a like, subscribe for more content in the future. I want to cover more of the different skills and kind of tips and tricks and details that you may not know about the individual skills as you play. But yeah, so if you did enjoy this, please give me a like and subscribe. Drop in the comments, if you will, maybe some tips you might have. I might have missed some things. There might be some stuff I'm not aware of still. Who knows? This game is complex. Or let us know if you're having trouble with specific fish, or if you're having specific issues, and maybe we can help you out in the comments. I try to stay active down there. You probably see me floating around quite a bit in the comments, replying to pretty much everybody. So if you do have issues, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to help you out. I'd love to stay in touch. And until next time, I hope you guys have good luck fishing. I hope you catch all the plushies in the world. And I hope you guys stay warm and safe and enjoy you a cup of coffee. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye.